YouTube? It's Black, and I just had to calm down for a bit because I previously made a video about this stuff and I was really angry, but I think I'm calmed down. I can fully explain this stuff without getting really irritated. Now, if you've been on Wikia today, you saw that Legacy of the Valley has been fully spoiled except maybe like 1 or 2 cards, and the new Gravekeeper stuff is out. Previously, all we had seen was Saniwa, and Saniwa was meh at best, but the rest of the stuff is actually pretty good for the deck, and I'm here today to show you all what that stuff is. So, Saniwa, I'm not going to go over because people have done it to hell and back. But first monster, Gravekeeper Shaman. Level 6 Dark Spellcaster with 15/15 and is searchable by Spy and by Recruiter. Its effect is, this card gains 200 defense for each Gravekeeper's monster in your graveyard. Negate the effects of all monsters that activate in the graveyard except Gravekeeper's monsters. While Necro Valley is on the field, your opponent cannot activate field spell cards. Also, field spell cards cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. This card is actually pretty good for the archetype. It stops your opponent from destroying your Necro Valley, and it keeps them from replaying spells over them, which most people do to get rid of field spells. I do like the fact that it's a level 6. It keeps from constant abuse of this card, because if you could just normal summon this card, that'd be broke as fuck. But it is tutorable by Spy, which is pretty good. So if you have Necro Valley Spy, Spy's got 2,500 defense. You can flip summon, get Shaman. Shaman's got at least 2,700 defense when she comes out. And then you can just summon Ascendant, pop Spies, Shaman gets more attack, and then your opponent can't do anything from there. So the next monster it's revealed is Gravekeeper's Ambusher. It's a Dark Spellcaster with 1,700 and 0 defense. So now you can play Mass Chameleon of the deck if you feel, even though Necro Valley may fuck that up just a little bit. But knowing your opponent, they're probably going to get rid of Necro Valley first, but I digress. This card's effect is, when this card is flipped face up, you can target one card in your opponent's graveyard and banish that target. If this card is sent to the graveyard after being flipped face up, you can target one Necro Valley card in your graveyard and add that target to your hand. This card's effects cannot be negated by Necro Valley. Now, look at this statement right here. You can add target one Necro Valley card in your graveyard. You don't necessarily have to be Necro Valley the field spell. There were 2 other Necro Valley spell and traps revealed in this set. I will get to those in a second. But basically what this card does is recycles your Necro Valleys. When you normal summon this card, it goes to 23, which is bigger than Ascendant, with Necro Valley on the field, plus it's got a pretty good staying power. But why would you set this face down if it's got 0 defense? That leads into the next monster, Gravekeeper's Apostle. And its effect is, when this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon one Gravekeeper's monster from your deck in face down defense position, except Gravekeeper's Apostle. So basically what this card does in a nutshell, it tutors Spy and it tutors Ambusher. So Ambusher can start controlling your opponent's graveyard, and Spy can start special summoning shit face up. So basically we go Apostle into Spy, into Shaman, into Necro Valley, whatever the hell you need to do. And I think it's a pretty nice combo. It gives the deck another floater besides Recruiter, and it allows you to get your setup faster. Now, the 2 cards I actually really kind of had a problem with is these 2, which is Shrine of Necro Valley, the new continuous spell card, and the Royal Tomb of Necro Valley. First of all, Shrine of Necro Valley effect is activate only when there's a Gravekeeper's monster in a Necro Valley on the field. Neither player can special summon monsters except Gravekeeper monsters. Destroy this card if there are no Gravekeeper monsters in a Necro Valley on the field. So basically what this comes down to, you get Necro Valley, you summon a Gravekeeper, you activate this, your opponent says, oh, GG. Because, yes, they can still normal summon monsters, and yes, there are other ways to get over Gravekeepers, but the fact that they cannot target cards in their graveyard anymore, and they cannot special summon monsters other than Gravekeepers is pretty good, actually. It gives the decks an extra lockdown capability that I don't think it needed. And I do think this card is balanced in the fact that you have to, if you lose said Gravekeeper, yes, this card builds itself up. But the thing is, Necro Valley isn't the only card that's treated as Necro Valley. There's also Gravekeeper's Priestess, who's treated as Necro Valley while that card is face up on the field. So you basically can summon Priestess and then activate this card until you get Necro Valley in hand, which is pretty busted in my opinion. But the next one is actually, I think, something the deck needed but didn't really, and it's Royal Tomb of Necro Valley. Basically, this is Infernity Barrier, and I am not kidding. Its effect is, it's a counter trap, and its effect is, if there's a Gravekeeper's monster in a Necro Valley on the field, when a card or effect is activated, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. You can only activate one of these per turn. While this does have the once per turn restriction, which I like because this card is essentially Quasar and Barrier in one card, because it stops all cards. Like I stated earlier, this card works very well with Gravekeeper's Priestess, because Priestess is treated as Necro Valley, plus she's a Gravekeeper's monster. So basically you can summon her, set 3s, activate Shrine of Necro Valley, activate Necro Valley, tell your opponent, go ahead, and then set protection. And it's like, what are you going to do? Now, after this card is you do have you have infinite recycles with Gravekeeper's Ambusher. So it leaves your opponent with more to be afraid of than just Necro Valley now. Now, looking at the stuff overall, I did kind of overreact at first, because I was like, Gravekeepers are fucking busted now. But I do think this adds a little more to the type than it had before. It gives it now more lockdown capability, which I really don't think they needed. They still have Royal Tribute, they still have a Staley, they have 3 Necro Valleys, they have 3 floaters for Necro Valley. They now have an actual floater to get their monsters. Holy shit, this card can summon all Gravekeepers. That's, what the fuck is this? Anyway, they have Recruiter, they have, wow, okay. Where was I going with this? But regardless, if you want to check this stuff out, I'll leave a link to the Legacy of the Valiant Wiki page where you can check that out. There's also the Shinra got revealed, which are pretty cool. And there's also new Synchros, new Exceeds, and a couple new archetypes, which are really cool. The new Bujin stuff got revealed for those who play Bujin. So I'll leave a link to that down below. And if you do want to play Gravekeepers, you do want them all hollowed out, on Troll and Toad right now, they're all still really, really cheap for the hollows. So I say, if you want to go for it, get the shit now before people start getting interested in it. And yeah. But I'm going to let you guys make your own opinions from this. I just shared with you a little bit of mine. I wanted to show you all what this stuff has now and give you more options than just basically these 5 cards which made up the deck. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. And as always, thank you all for watching. Stay black, and I will see you next time.